Hi there. Are you ready to do some making? This week's craft is to make a mummy duck. Here she is, with her wings, and also her 5 little ducks. I've put my ones onto a glove so I can use it at song time. You could just put them straight on your fingers. Have a look and have a go. Duck and ducklings. In my case, 5 little ducklings and their mother duck. So this is actually a 2-part craft. Now, here's the mother duck standing up, which you can see is quite a bit of fun. So, for the mother duck, you need some brown card, could be the inside of a cereal packet, or white, colour it, cover it with tissue paper. The brown card isn't easy to get hold of. You will also need a colour for the head. I'm using green, and for the beak I'm using orange. You will also need a cupcake case. My ones just haven't been spotted, but it actually looks quite good. And you will need glue and something for the eyes. I'm using these sticker ones today, but you could just use ordinary circular stickers that you have drawn a black dot on. Okay, you will need scissors, obviously, pencil, and to make the hold you're going to need pointy scissors. Okay, now for the duckling finger puppets, these ones are actually made of felt. It's exactly the same process whether you make felt ones, which will last longer, or paper ones, which don't last as long but are cheaper and easier to make. So for those you need yellow paper, you need a tiny bit of orange for the beak, and you need something for the eyes. I'm using coloured stickers, which I need to put the black dots on for. You could use coloured ones or you can use white ones. And I'll come back to what you're going to use for sticking things on at the very end, because that depends on what you're using. So I'll start with the mother duck. The mother duck, you will need your brown card, and you need to draw something round. So I'm using one of my pots. Very quickly, I draw around it. This pencil seems to be coming apart, which is slightly unfortunate, and cut out. Now, you might want to use something slightly smaller than that for your children. This is basically adult size, so have a hunt around for something that's nice and reasonable sized for your child. Okay, now when you've done that, you're going to need to make the holes for the fingers. Now again, my fingers are somewhat larger than a child's. I'm using a cotton reel, a very small cotton reel, because that's the right size, but you will probably need to find something a little smaller to draw around. And when you draw around, don't put it too close to the edge. If you do, it will come through far too quickly and your fun will be gone. Then it's simply a case of shove those points through and cut out. And you can always, if you think it's a little bit big, just cut inside your circle that you've drawn. Alternatively, if you can't find a circle that you think is going to be big enough, oops, that's a bit wonky, then you can always cut round just outside of your circle to make it very slightly bigger. Don't get caught up on having to be on the lines, having to have the exact size. You can always cut it slightly smaller or slightly bigger. Do remember that if you're going to cut it slightly bigger, be careful not to go too big, or you're going to have to start again. So there's that. Now you can see all the lines, so just turn it over before your child gets going. Okay. That's the preparation for that done. You also need to cut a circle of green, or whatever colour you're using for the head, and play around, have a look around at home to see what you find that's the right size, that looks right. I'm using the top of this because that just seems to be the right size. So when you found something that looks about the right size, cut it on, cut it out quickly so your child's not hanging around too much. Oops, I've just got a funny shaped head there, but never mind, it's not a problem. Okay, that bit's done. That just leaves you with the beak to prepare, which, one of my little tricks, bit of paper, fold it in half, or fold a little bit in half, and then just cut a triangle. Now, this is where you will have to fiddle. Is that too big? Depends how big a beak you want. That's got a huge beak. I think that's too big, so just trim it down a bit until you get it the size that you want, that you think is going to look good. There we go. Now, give it to your child. Very easy bit to put on. You just need a bit of glue at the top. Add that on there. Bit of glue on here. And because you've folded it, you will get a slight 3D effect here. Now, most people's children will just whack it on quite hard, so you probably will lose that effect. So there's the main part. Eyes next. I think these ones I'll use this one this time, so you can see what it's like. There we go. There's one eye. There's two eyes. Okay. And then we need the wings. So, cupcake, choose your colour. I think I'm going to use a blue wing on this one. Or maybe a pink one. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm going to use the pink one. So you need to flatten it. Fold it in half. Of course, your child can choose the colour. If you want to make more than one, they can have several different colours. If you've only got plain ones, don't worry. Plain ones work perfectly well, and you could always decorate them if you wish to. And then a round bit goes underneath. Glue either side. Just might need a bit more on that side. And there's your wings. Now, you can, of course, add to this as much as you like. You could add some feathers if you wanted to. I think I might add a couple of feathers coming out the top of the head, just because I'm feeling in that mood. So I'm just going to put a couple of little feathers coming in at the top. There we go. One more perhaps. Here we go. There she is. And there's my mother duck with some feathers out the top of her head this time. Now, as you can tell, that's easy. And then you need to move on to the ducklings. Now, I've made myself a template already because, as you can tell from these, I've made more than one. So I do recommend making a template. Now, the best thing to do here to work out the size is to put your child's hand down, choose one of their fingers, one of their bigger fingers, and just sort of draw around it, roughly. And that gives you approximately the shape and size of your finger that you're going to need. Fold it roughly in half. Cut out. Make sure you give it nice and rounded at the top. And there's your finger, your size. Now, if you're going to do a lot of them, particularly if you are going to do felt ones, I do suggest that making your template out of card might be easier. But if not, if you're only going to use 1 or 2, or even just the 5, then in paper, that's probably going to be enough. So you're going to paper, you're going to draw around it, and then you're going to cut it out. You could fold it up and cut lots at once, because that is way quicker. And with this thicker paper, you can probably cut 4 or even 5 out, depending on how sharp your scissors are at the time. So there's my little duck. I need a little bit of the orange to make the beak. So I'm going to cut a piece up here. And I need to make a nice big beak. Ooh, let me see, what should we do? Let's try that bit there. There we go, there's a beak. Got a big beak, this one. That's fine. So I want just a little bit of glue on it. And then you want your eyes. What colour eyes should I have for this one? I'm going to have, I think I'll have blue eyes for this one. So just a dot in the middle. And then it can be put on. Put your eyes on. 1, 2. That's your basics. You can, of course, add some feathers. Now, on the side of these, you can see, I've added wings on the side to be wings. So, just to show you that, let's try and find 2 roughly the same size, because that's me being an adult. I'm running out of feathers in the house, to be honest. No, that'll do. That'll do. Feathers, if you want to put the wings on, you're best off putting them on the back. So, glue on the back. Feathers on. You can, of course, put little tiny feathers on top. And there it is. Now, this is where you can get lots of variations, because now we get to the point of how you're going to attach that to your finger. There are lots of options. You could use a little bit of tape like this and make a little bit of a ring like that. Stick it on the back of your there, and then you try to put your finger on there and holds it. That works perfectly well. You can do the same sort of thing with double-sided tape, which is what I've done on the back of this one. Now, you can see I've got 2 pieces on there. That was a mistake, the top one. You need it towards the bottom so that when it goes on the finger, you can still bend. If you put on the top one, you cut. At the top, you cut. Bear in mind that this double-sided tape is very sticky, but that's life. Now, you could, if you wanted to, if you didn't want the stickiness, could put a little bit of ribbon or very not too tight elastic on, just a little tiny bit. Like that. Then I'm going to put your finger in. This is tricky, and it's been a lot easier with 2 people. Because what you're going to need to do is you need to stick it on. Wrap around to make sure it fits. And then, as you can see, very fiddly with one hand, with one person. Easier with 2 because your child can put their finger in place. So you get it on like that, so put it in, stick it onto there, and I would suggest that the tape would be easier. And that's on now. But it's very sticky still, so pop the cover back on top. Like that. And that will work a lot better with double-sided tape, and then you've got a little hook there. Now, what I have done with these ones, because they are felt and I'm going to use them on the song videos. Now, they're made of felt, so they last a bit longer, so you have to use PVA glue if you're going to do that. And I've attached them to a glove. Now this is a very old glove, and although it's fleecy, it's so worn on the fingertips that it's not fluffy anymore. I was hoping to be able to add, to just put a little bit of Velcro on the back and then have these stick, but they're not sticking well to this. I couldn't find woolen ones. They should work better on woolen. So I've just attached the other piece onto the glove and then attached on there. Just because this is a very old glove, I really don't mind. So you can use them this way, like that, and your child can then sing the song. Now with you it should be easier because your child's fingers will not have the arthritis deformation that I've got in there. They'll stay on better, and you can use them to do that. And then you've got your, sorry, I've got a sore finger, your mother duck. Yeah. I hope you enjoy making your duck and ducklings, your 5 little ducks and the mother duck as well. Pop some pictures up if you make some of these. I'd love to see them. Bye!